So look, I think it's positive news that Kristi Noem is being essentially fired. She should have been fired a long time ago. It is telling and at the same time distressing that what seems to have gotten her fired was her PR campaign, because she acknowledged that the president was aware and supportive of this PR campaign, this $220 million boondoggle, this waste of taxpayer resources that largely promoted Kristi Noem. That was a sweetheart contract given to the husband of one of her staff, also someone who did her PR back in South Dakota. That was a horrible waste of taxpayer resources. But this was what ended up apparently, reportedly, getting her fired when her leadership at the agency resulted in Americans getting killed in Minneapolis and elsewhere, and the kind of chaos we've seen throughout the country says a lot about the priorities and the concerns of this administration. But look, I'm glad she's going, and soon, I hope, gone. And pray that there's a new chapter for DHS, but I will believe it when I see it.
Senator, do you think some Democrats have said perhaps this could help with the DHS negotiations? What do you think?
I don't know. It couldn't hurt, but I suspect that the White House is really running the DHS negotiations. They're going to call the shots when it comes to what kind of reforms they're going to support. So I don't see it immediately changing the dynamic, but look, I think it's an unmitigated positive to see her leave the administration. There really has been almost no accountability for any of the overwhelming malfeasance in the administration. So finally, there is at least some accountability.
Senator, are you a yes on Mark Mullen? And do you think there's anything he can do or should be doing if he gets another?
I'm going to reserve judgment on Senator Mullen. We'll hear what he has to say. I start out with a great deal of skepticism, to be candid, that he or anyone else is prepared to change the policies of that department, because I think the policies of the department are coming from the president. And the president is okay with chaos in our streets. We're now seeing chaos around the world. He is very much the chaos president. That is his leadership style, for lack of a better description. So I don't know whether a new secretary is going to change that, but I will wait to hear what he has to say.
Senator, that gets into a tricky area, though. The president was elected by the American people. He's clear about his policy. So if your judgment about a new secretary is based on the president, I'm not sure how that works.
Well, I think you're right. I would agree that the fish rots from the head, and the real problem that we have with the chaos in our streets is coming from the White House and from the Oval Office. But I evaluate each of the nominees for cabinet positions and other positions on their merits. We'll hear what he has to say and whether he's going to try to lead this department in a different way. So I'm not going to prejudge it completely, but I will acknowledge I'm going to go into this with a lot of skepticism based on what I've seen.
Last question.
Subscribe to Oneindia and never miss an update. Download the Oneindia app now.